Am I the astronaut for telling my ex that she chose our kids over our relationship and it's not my problem that she's lonely now that they're grown up? My ex and I had our first child when we were 26. We met at a bar celebrating our 21st birthday. We're literally the exact same age. She changed. Being a mom became her only identity. Our second child when we were 28 compounded it. She was a mom, not a wife, and not even herself. Not even the woman I met, fell in love with, and married. All she wanted to do was kid stuff. Kid movies, kid TV, kid books, kid everything. If I wanted to drop the kids off and take her to the farmer's market, she would say no, that the kids loved the farmer's market. We had to take them. They were 3 and 1. They did not love the farmer's market. If anything, the older one loved the mini donuts. And she couldn't stand to hear them cry, so she let them sleep with us constantly. When I put my foot down, she would start crying about how mean I was. At 1 and 3, they were sleeping with them. Okay. When the kids finally outgrew that, she would let them come into our room without knocking. So sex was interesting. I put a lock on the bedroom door. She took it off. We went for counseling. She went to counseling. Nothing ever changed. She said it would be different when the kids were older. It never changed. I left when the kids were 9 and 11. I had planned and paid for a trip for our 15th anniversary. We were going to Thailand like we always planned when we were younger. She changed the plans. She canceled with her parents watching the kids. We went as a family to Disney World for your 15th anniversary. We had been the year before and the kids loved it so much. I lasted another 6 months. Then I left. I pay child support. I pay spousal support. I'm there for the kids all the time. I enjoy my custody time. I go to their extracurriculars on the days I don't have them. I have rooms for them in my house. I met someone new a year later. We got married a year after that. We had our first child 2 years after that. She is an excellent stepmom, and the kids are polite and friendly with her. They were grown up, and they had a mom, so she is more of a trusted adult. The kids are 16 and 14 now, and they are sick of mom's attention. They are spending more and more time at my house. I love having them over, and here they understand what privacy and personal space mean. My ex is lonely. She devoted her life to her kids, and she expected them to be around her forever, I guess. She has dated other men, but she refuses to prioritize them in any way over the kids. An example, one guy lasted 6 months. He wanted to take her away for the weekend. She couldn't because the younger one had a soccer game. It was my weekend. The guy had checked with me that I would be attending and not just leaving the kid on the field. I was. She refused to go and showed up at the game without him. That was the last I saw him. She's getting angry and bitter that I left her alone to go start a new family with my child bride. My wife was 30 when I met her, and I was 38. I wasn't exactly robbing the cradle. I told her that she wanted that life. I told her I gave her every opportunity to be my partner, and she said she would rather be a mom. She said that wasn't true. I asked her to prove me wrong. To tell me when she put our relationship above the slightest inconvenience to our kids, she couldn't do it. Keep saying above, I'm going to address that. I reminded her that she passed up a weekend with her boyfriend to go to a soccer game. She said it was important. I said that adult relationships are also important. My wife thinks that I was harsh but fair. Our child sleeps through the night in her nursery, though. Okay, the one thing I want to say about him saying, like, you can't put a relationship above her children, I view it as an even playing field. I view it as one level that both of those things do exist at. That's me. But I view them as equal there. And equal means, I think he means equal too, because what he's pointing at here and putting the spotlight on is that she chose them every time. If they're equal, you do not choose them every time. Your partner is just as big of a priority and should be balanced just as much.
And I think we differ on this, but I look at it as if the relationship is healthy, the rest trickles down. Because if the relationship is unhealthy, then you're always having some kind of like anxiety and misunderstanding, and the kids can feel it. They can always feel it if there's unhealthiness in your relationship. Sure. So I think making sure that your relationship, being a good parent, being there for your kids, but also prioritizing that relationship to make sure that it is the solid foundation for your family. That doesn't mean that your husband comes first or your wife comes first, but I think it rotates, it takes turns, but you have to water your relationship in order to make your family function properly. And I think, and I am a big advocate for women, who do become moms, making sure that your only role in life is not just to be a mom, because I think it takes away from who you are as a person if you're only a mom.
Yeah.
Like you have to have your core, you have to have who you are as a person, and like filling up that cup to be the best mom that you can be. And I think that this mom, and I saw some people say that she has attachment issues and other issues. And he did say that she went to therapy, they went to therapy, but I think maybe she didn't give it a fair shot. Maybe she wasn't vulnerable enough in therapy, to find the ugly truth of what was causing her to always prioritize her children. I'm not sure what the answer is there. That's up to her to figure out with a therapist. But I can't blame someone for leaving a relationship where it was never prioritized.
No.
And I think he did give it every chance. And I think taking your 15th anniversary trip that was supposed to go to Thailand to be like a moment to rekindle your relationship, and you chose to go to Disney World with your kids, I think that's hard to come back from when your relationship is already rocky. And so I think it's just a tough situation. And I wish that she could have gotten the help that she needed so that their family could have worked.
I would agree. Yeah, and I think you and I have a very similar viewpoint and just present it differently.
Yeah.
Because the rotating act, I think, is what I view as equal. You know what I mean? Your focus is going to be right there. And I see a lot of people talking about it should be self, spouse, children. And I understand that. That makes sense.
I agree.
It makes sense.
If you're not healthy, you're not giving healthy out to anyone that needs your love and attention.
Right.
So if you're, and I speak from 100% experience and allowing that, like if you have a negative outlook, and we talked about a dark cloud, you're allowing that negativity to flow from you to other people. And it definitely does more harm than good. So having yourself like be right, be healthy, your mental health is where it should be. And I believe that should happen in a relationship, like making sure that your mental health is in check before you start a relationship. Because when you bring that baggage in, again, speaking from experience for the both of us, but when you bring that baggage into a relationship, you got to fight like hell to work through it.
Yeah, for sure. And a lot of people here saying that it sounds like she probably had an upbringing that was very much the opposite of what she's presenting right now. And she's overcompensating for that. That's entirely possible. But, we make our own choices and we still have to deal with the consequences regardless of what drove those choices. There
was, we can't share the link on TikTok, but there was a lot of stories and comments about people who grew up with parents like this. Parents that, and there was one story about someone where the dad made the child placate the mom because the mom was like this, and he stayed. And he said their relationship was like, it was always just about her feelings, how she felt, what she wanted. Like, but he always had to
play along.
And the whole family was like, even grandparents and stuff were like, you know how your mom's feelings get. And so like from their point of view, they were sharing that. So there was a lot of, but yeah, I mean, the kids are already seeing it and they're 16 and 14. So
yeah. And they're choosing to not be like, this is helicopter parenting to an extreme, and this is the result. The kids are like, I'd rather be somewhere where we don't have it.
Yeah, I mean,
where they become independent adults.
Where they have privacy. I mean, I think we all want that at a certain age when you start to grow up. Like,
Yeah, for sure.